Okay, so we have the Four of Pentacles energy dominating this reading. And Susan even called and asked, texted and asked for me to send her something on the Four of Pentacles there. So I did. And it's really important energy. It goes along with the melody of Sugar Ray Fly from the shorts. It's a helping others energy. I suggested she start doing more on her channel because we need to get the word out. What are we trying to do? We're trying to show our gratitude and we're trying to help others. Now, that's not trying to awaken others. It's just trying to help others. For instance, somebody puts an ad out and says, I need a free bed, and you have one. Then you can help them. And probably by you meeting this person, they will be part of your soul tribe. I told you how I don't meet anybody by accident. I don't do anything by accident. There's no coincidences in my life. Okay, so we've got success, stability, and savings. So I want to kind of dissect this Four of Pentacles energy. Right now you have success. So believe it or not, you have success. You're here, you came here for this mission, and they haven't killed you yet. I've asked you guys to look at a few movies, The Truman Show and Soylent Green. I probably ain't pronouncing that right, but Soylent Green. Those two movies are true. They're not sci-fi, and we survived it. We survived the poisonings, we've survived the Matrix. We're ready to fly now. You're going to hear a lot about the rapture. You're going to hear a lot about ascending, about flying away, about the spaceships coming to take us away. Beam me up, Scotty. And a lot of you think this is hogwash or you think it's Fantasyland. Well, you know, I don't. So maybe if you do, maybe you want to go to a different channel because I highly believe in all that stuff. I just believe that there's different words for the same thing. Exact same thing, but all different words. I also believe that there's all different levels of success, stability, savings, right? I believe there's all different levels to everything. So what's savings to me, $1 million, your savings might be $500. You could be homeless, and if you had $500, it would be like a freaking miracle. Where someone with $1 million, they think $500 is nothing. Okay, so there's different levels of success. Stability. Somebody living in a box behind 7-Eleven, which I have done, but not, I don't think we had the luxury of a box. So there you go. Somebody that has a box versus no box could be more stable-minded than somebody without the box. Success is different for everybody. Success can be me waking up in the morning and finding everything still how I left it the night before. Where another person's success is getting a big paycheck, having their significant other be promoted or tell them that they love them. You know, there's all different levels. So that's why when I talk to you, you take me literally because I tell you that everything resonates. This isn't, oh, just take what you want and leave the rest, because this is an energy of like reading the weather. If I tell you it's going to be 95 today and sunny, which it is, and you go outside dressed in your snowmobile suit, you're probably going to be pretty hot. But you didn't think it resonated with you. Oh, that's just the weather, that she's just, you know, that's what I'm saying. You have to take everything I say and figure out what level you're on. So what level are you on? What would bring you success? I'm going to ask you some questions. So maybe we can do a write down your answers in the comments. I'm even live, I think, with the chat. So maybe if you're watching, you can write your answers on the chat. I'm not sure if it's working or not. I really didn't pay attention to it when I clicked play. So what would give you success? I've already told you what gave me success. Waking up in the morning healthy, happy, and free, and letting everybody get fed, carry on. Stability. What stability to me is not money in the bank, because that can go in a flash. We could go onto our account right now and it could say 0. So if that's where your stability is, that's no good. But it's nice to know, because I know in the back of my mind that quantum's already there, so I'm not worried about money. But you may not believe in quantum. You may think the quantum financial system is bogus. It's not true. Well, then see, you're on a different level than me. Does that make me a liar? No, and that's what I'm trying to get across, because I see a lot of comments on people's channels that they're being called liars, and they're really not liars. It's just that that's their timeline. Okay? I use the example of somebody saying that the QFS isn't going to happen. Well, that's fine. That's your timeline. It's not going to happen on your timeline. Okay, that's fine. My timeline it is. That's why we're going to skip and fast forward to the very first cards out. We've got Justice and the Hierophant. And the reason I fast forwarded to that is because I'm settling for nothing less than a Hierophant and Justice. God can, ask and you shall receive. That was behind these cards, and the 9 of Wands. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay? Victory over the wolves in sheep's clothing, 9 of Wands. God can, ask and you shall receive, right? Underneath God can is the questing, the King of Questing card. So I'm going to continue on, and I'm not going to dilute my beliefs for any of you. I'm not going to say, oh, I don't believe in the quantum financial system just because you're calling me a liar. All right? Proof will be in the pudding. Also, you may not be on my timeline. You may be on a timeline where the quantum financial system does not exist. You guys know that we're on all dimensions at all times? See, so it depends who's listening and how deep you've been following me. And if you've been following me deep, you still may not be on my timeline. You still may not believe in spaceships. You still may not think astro is true, where I do all my classes. Last night we did a lot of classes on Sugar Ray, Fly. Okay, so you definitely want to check out his music. Okay, so back to the Hierophant. He's high ranking, and Justice is about balance. So that's what I want. Now, does my Hierophant have to believe everything that I believe? No. But he has to be on my timeline. If he's on my timeline and he is one level under me, I can bring him up to my level on that timeline. If I'm one level behind him, then he can bring me up. I'll give you a great example. I don't know if you guys know who Ray is, but Ray is from the TLS, the light system. He is on a level that is way beyond me. He is one of my mentors in astro. And if he and I were to get together, he would have a lot of teaching to do me in the physical avatar, because he's already teaching me in astro. So isn't that awesome? That would be great. It would be wonderful. That's my kind of Hierophant. So if you guys know Ray, shout out. We're very close in astro, but here in the physical avatar, I don't see him anywhere. Do you? So he's way past even a Hierophant, if you ask me. But what's the card after Hierophant is God and Goddesses. So he needs his goddess to fulfill his God position, and I need my Hierophant to get to my Goddess position. Okay, does that all make sense? So I hope it did. We're going to go into these here. Now the Four of Pentacles energy, I want to go back to that because we had it book ending or with the Four of Wands energy. And that's the prosperity and the celebration energy where you are going to have to be generous with what God gives you. So it's kind of like the tithing thing where God said, if I give you $1, would you give me 10 cents back? Yeah, okay, that sounds like a deal. I get 90 cents, all right. And that's how I started. And I would waitress and I would get $1 per table when I first started. And if you sat at the counter, I probably got a quarter, right? But I would give 10% of whatever I made, and I would give it to either the church or AA or whatever organization I was in at that time. Now I do it strictly to pets, and I do it straight to the pets instead of giving it to someone else. I buy my food now from Chewy.com, so they get the money, and then I give it right to the pets. So that's how I do my charity now. But when I get really, really quantumized, we'll call it, when I get a lot of money, I'm going to be generous. I'm going to help others. I'm going to see if people want to start rescue shelters for the animals, if we still need them by then. If we don't need them by then we just donate to the next level. Right now, a lot of the whales and a lot of the people that are very wealthy are already doing that. So by the time I get sprinkled in, it may not need a lot. But whatever it is, I could even just make my castle with my pets, right? It depends where we're going to be at, all right? If I'm on a spaceship, I obviously don't need any money and there's no politics. So you just take that money and you leave it here with whoever. There'll be places to put it, trust me. You're going to have a whole line of humanitarian projects that need to be funded. So that's the gratitude, that's the helping others. But as of today, it's Chewy.com. I don't even go to Walmart anymore, and Walmart used to be my favorite place to go. But we're finding out a lot of stuff about Walmart, aren't we? So Chewy.com, you won. I can't believe there's no competition to Chewy.com, because you would think that there would be more competition. But of course there's the pet stores that you can order from and Amazon, but like Chewy.com, and then if we had somebody that was a competitor like barkandmeow.com, we could open up our own competitor to Chewy.com. Okay, we'll call it Barks and Meows, and for phlegm we'll have to put in a little tweet. Okay, so we're going to do helping others, gratitude. That goes with the Four of Wands. Now, the Four of Wands is a celebration, celebrating. You're happy, you got prosperity. It's that important event that's got to take place, and it leads to the final outcome here. What is the final message for the future? It's gathering of souls, gathering of the soul tribe, deciding whether you're going to stay on the spaceship or if you are going to open up your own company. You're going to do a project here on Earth for 200-300 years, up to 1,000, right? Are you going to bring in the new Earth, or are you going to stay up on the ship with me? Hopefully we can stay up on the ship. We don't know yet. They're not telling me a whole lot in physical avatar because they don't want you to know the future. And then the final outcome is marriage. Marriage is right on the bottom. So you've got, if you're already married, well, you're really going to be rocking and rolling. Your relationship now, as I see two people walking by the house that walk together every day, their relationship is going to either get totally awesome or they got to split up and find they're totally awesome. This sitting in comfort zone is going to get the tower moment, and that's next. The sudden change, right? The expect a miracle underneath it. The Five of Swords was its challenge, right? They think that they can just keep on pretending like they're soulmates, or they can even admit that they're not soulmates, but they don't want to go towards their soulmate because it's too much work to leave their comfort zone. So they're just going to stay in their relationship that they're in now. It's not gonna happen. The tower is gonna come and you're gonna have unaffected. I said unaffected. So you're thinking that it's not gonna affect you. Somebody right now is saying, well, it ain't for me. I'm staying right where I'm at and nothing's gonna affect me. I heard that loud and clear. Sorry to burst your bubble, but boom, chaos, unexpected events are going to happen. And I know it for a fact. Five of Swords, okay? So expect a miracle, whether it's good or bad, whether it's, there is no good or bad. It just is what it is. So it's like whatever comes down the pipe, that's your timeline, that's your job. Now, there were a lot more cards in that shorts, and you can go ahead and look it up, but I wanted to give you the majority of it. And I do want to kind of wrap this up. It's 17:00 on the clock. We've got the King of Swords and the Magician and the Knight of Swords all next. So the Knight of Swords is somebody that is determined. The King of Swords is somebody that's logical. And the Magician is somebody that can do anything. So that's the power that I want to leave you in. I want you to, no matter what timeline you're on, I want you to be generous, helping others. If you guys have a channel, start doing more on your channel. Use your intelligence, use your logic, use your determination, because you are the magician and you can do anything. You have all the tools you need. I am Miss Mystic. Thank you for listening.